Man jailed for exposing paternity fraud and corrupt courts. Guys, let's go ahead and jump into this immediately. This is coming from the channel The Modern King. Really?
I'm probably going to jail for this. I don't care. I've stayed quiet long enough.
Brett Fairley has been arrested, in case you missed it. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but here are the charges as well. So here is his booking picture. There's his name. He was booked on 5/8.
Contempt of
here
court,
are his
boating under the influence, boats reckless, negligent operation, and improper personal flotation device.
charges. Contempt of court, non-bondable, boating under the influence, boats reckless or negligent operations, improper personal flotation device.
Okay.
And here is what Hadley had to say about the situation. This is on the Mermaid Mom's page. Her comment was, he was arrested for telling his story and for child support, even though he's off the birth certificate. Also, we were nowhere near the water today, and he had no warrants. I am beside myself.
Yeah, this definitely feels like corruption.
If you were not aware, he posted a 12-part series telling his side of things. He
Never heard
was
it.
well aware that this would possibly get him in trouble, as he was not supposed to be posting about this on social media. But he did not want to be silenced. He wanted to get his part out there, and for the most part, that's what he did.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he did not get to finish, as he was arrested.
Arrested,
All of these
obviously.
videos have now been removed.
Okay, guys, really quickly. So when it comes down to like these type of court agreements, yeah, like I've noticed, at least recently, I've been entwined into a lawsuit for the last year or so, over something I can't speak about, unfortunately, because you know what? I have too many followers on social media, so I'm not allowed to speak about it. But just understand this here, guys. Okay, you can't speak about these things anymore. All right? They dig deep into who you are. Right? Like if you have been wronged, you can't even say you've been wronged. Okay, understand this here. Like they have basically silenced you under threat of legitimate contempt of court. If you say a single thing, you go to jail. Yeah, that's how things are these days, guys. Does it surprise me that this has happened? No.
As he was arrested. All of these videos have now been removed.
They sent this man to jail for refusing to be silenced and sharing his story. They forced him to delete the videos he had posted, exposing not only the mother's lies and paternity fraud, but the corrupt system that's enabling her while punishing him when he's done nothing wrong. Unfortunately for them, me and several other people have already immortalized his story, preventing him from ever being silenced, so we can expose how our current system throws random men under the bus to protect women who lie and abuse them for financial and personal gain. Below, I have linked to the original full story of him exposing their lies. Due to their attempt at silencing him and forcing him to delete the videos from his page, I would ask that everyone watching this go and share his original full story to bring more eyes to the corruption that is taking place.
Okay.
Increased public scrutiny on this case will make them think twice about jailing a completely innocent man because he decided to publicly share his story. With enough pressure from widespread public attention, they would have no choice but to free him. We cannot tolerate a system that jails and punishes innocent men while protecting and enabling liars and abusers. Hopefully, Brett Fairley is able to get the justice he deserves, while also preventing more men from falling victim to this biased system.
So Brett Fairley, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story recently, was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria, who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child.
She played
Despite
him,
this
didn't
arrangement
she?
and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement,
Right,
Maria ends up finding Brett's mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of...
Guys, under no circumstance do you give out your seed, guys, all right? Not all willy-nilly, at least. Not specifically with someone that gives you some type of deal such as this here. Generally, it's going to be nonsense.
The baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be
guys.
too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops. So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. And
the court doesn't care about that. They don't care about that. Right?
Kind of surprising victory. The courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations,
Did he get his money
they don't
back?
make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate. The judge also assigns a mutual restraining order for the both of them, meaning that neither of them can ever talk about this case again, basically a gag order. But according to Brett, Maria broke this order almost immediately by contacting his family, telling them that he's a deadbeat who abandoned his child. So Brett decides that he too is going to defy the order and clear his name, and that's when he made a multi-part series detailing all the lies, how he got played, and also his own mistakes along the way to help educate other men. I actually remember one interview where Brett was asked what he would tell his younger self if he could, and he said that if he had ever heard a story even remotely similar to what he went through, he would have never been in that situation. So his story does have the ability to prevent this from happening. But obviously the courts don't want this story out there. Why? It just makes you wonder, especially when you consider that in other countries like France, it's actually illegal for men to perform paternity tests on their kids without the mother's permission because, in their words, it would destabilize the community. And honestly, this whole concept that you have to prove paternity fraud is also crazy to me because it's like, did she say the kid was his? Did the DNA test say that it isn't? Seems to me that there was pretty clear deception involved. But we do have to learn from this, and honestly, this is why a lot of guys are very hesitant to sign anything until they get that DNA test. This is also why I think it's really important for women to stop taking DNA tests so personally and making it this big relationship-ending deal. You should want to be able to offer your man that reassurance, and you should also want that reassurance yourself. After all, hospital switch-ups do happen to women too. They can shut him up, but they can't shut us all up, and men need to hear this stuff. Men deserve to know if their kid is theirs or not without being shamed for wanting to know that.
For those
who is this woman? I like her, right? I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not sure I've heard many women understand, the other side of the coin here, guys. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Normally, it's the man hate generally on the internet these days, guys. Almost exclusively, it's just misandry. Basically, I look at it and I'm just like, oh, well, more misandry, normal, right? Listen, they're not going to do anything to the woman that did this at all, because again, she has the ability to have more kids with more other people and bring the state more money through child support, basically, right? Like, why would they? I'm kind of guesstimating this is probably the reason why, when women commit crimes, they get less time, because again, they want them out so they can make more babies and then they can get more child support, and the state can get more money. It seems like a cash cow here, guys. Right? It feels like that, at least. Outside looking in here. Let's continue.
Those who have never seen the story before, here is the first part of it. The entire story will be linked below. Be sure to share the original story to prevent him being silenced. Situations like this should never happen, but they won't stop until those who lie and abuse others are held accountable for their actions.
A few years ago, I agreed to be a sperm donor. She said she just wanted the baby and not a relationship. I was young and naive, and I trusted someone that I shouldn't have. When she told me she was pregnant, I congratulated her and moved to California. I thought that was the end of it. But then she started messaging my mom. She said she had no one, and she pressured us all to be at the birth. So we did. We were all at the birth. I signed the birth certificate, and I decided to be in the baby's life as a dad. I let her and the baby live in my Airbnb for free. I had to pay child support, and she took over $52,000 from me. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was being a dad. She started asking me to be a family, and when I refused, she called me a deadbeat online, and I stayed silent throughout it all. 2.5 years later, I decided to take 2 DNA tests. Both of them said the same thing. I was not the father. When I shared the results, she said that I was lying and that we tampered with the test.
Before you all start believing his shit, some company with her DNA, that could have been anyone's DNA.
She filed a restraining order. A judge silenced me and made me remove all my posts. based on Maria's claim that I was actually the father. Here is the court-ordered DNA test that I had to request, and it confirmed again I am not the father. And while I was silent, she kept going. She was changing dates on photos, spinning stories, manipulating people online. Some people believed her. But while she was doing that, I was uncovering the truth. Connections, manipulations, lies, and the truth about who the real father is. This is just the beginning of Maria's web of lies. I'm telling friends and family, and everybody's in shock.
The probability of paternity is 0%. Bro.
Isn't that the most insane thing you've ever seen in your life? I hired a lawyer, and he said, do not contact Maria again until she's served. For the first few weeks, I was just sad, and then there was this moment. Hadley and I were just sitting there, and she kind of mumbled under her breath, I can't believe she called me a whore. And both of us just started dying laughing. This was the first moment where I was like, what the did I just go through? And then small town people start talking, and I start getting messages like this. I guess all of her friends always knew who the real baby daddy was, but no one bothered to tell me.
Oh.
And I was pissed.
Bro, this is like a movie.
I started looking at this tattoo every day. She would post this tattoo on her Facebook, and now knowing that her friends knew, I start wondering, were they laughing at me the whole time?
Yes.
I started to hate looking at my own arm, and I didn't want the tattoo anymore. It had nothing to do with the baby. It had everything to do with Maria. Hadley suggested that I either get it covered or removed.
Yeah, go ahead and do something with that.
Through it would symbolize moving on from the abuse, but
nah, bro, you still see it. Go ahead and get rid of that.
not forgetting the child that I love. In October, Maria gets served a lawsuit, but not before I heard the process server say this.
I've been down this road with her before. Yeah, who was the guy? He did some kind of swimming pool building or something that she was fooling around with.
Apparently she's been in lawsuits with men before. I had no idea. After she was served, I gave her plenty of time because I asked Hadley how she would react if her kid's dad served her with paperwork showing DNA results that he wasn't the dad. And Hadley said I would immediately call him and tell him to get his down here and do another DNA test in front of me because I know they're his kids. But what does Maria do?
Go ahead, what you do?
First time ever, she's quiet. So I post my video to my 100 followers, only to clear my name. I don't mention Hadley's name at all, and I keep the baby's identity hidden. Then the messages start rolling in. Shortly after, I'm served with a restraining order and they're demanding I take down all my posts. And that's when they take the opportunity to start twisting the narrative online. And while I'm silenced for 6 months, I start unraveling the truth about everyone in Maria's web of lies.
Oh my God. Make it a movie. Like, if you made this a movie right now, I'd watch it. I'm going to be honest here. This sounds incredibly fantastical. I'm definitely sorry that this young man is going through these things. But, bro, like, I don't know how this happened. Never believe someone when they say this. Like, just never do it. If they say, hey, listen, let's go ahead and do this. That young lady still has a gigantic amount of power over you at all times of the day. All right? Don't do this under any circumstance. Period. Do not spread your seed, right, over, random people's gardens, basically. All right, let's not do that here, guys. I'm going to watch it again. It was so juicy. It was compelling. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.